Hello everyone, welcome to my new course. And this course is something that is very important for all the team members of software development team. Whether you are a developer, you are a manager, you are a front-end developer, you are a graphic designer, in this course we will learn something that is important for all of you. So irrespective of your role or irrespective of your technology, I'm not talking here about anything specific technology that this course is only for .NET developers or this course is only for Angular developers or Java developers or Python developers. If you are a developer and you are writing code, no matter what programming language you are using, you must learn this concept. And the name of this concept is version control. So in version control, there are different types. Some of them are connected, some of them are disconnected. In this course, we will talk about the most popular version control that is available in market, and the name is Git. I'm working on this Git version control since more than 10 years. Now there is one more thing. If you are a fresher or you are new in the development, so you might think that I want to focus only on the code, not on all these things. So here is my advice to you, my dear friend. This version control is something that you will always have to learn. No matter what your experience is, even if you are college student, you must learn this version control. Let's start this course and learn about this Git version control. I do not want to focus too much on theory. Let's see what is the real scenario of using Git version control. Here, if you will notice that I have written some code, and this is basically a .NET application. And as I told earlier that this is not about any specific programming language. Over here, you can also deal only with the HTML file or CSS file or your programming language. So do not focus on what code I have written. We just need to focus on some scenarios over here. So let's open it in an editor. So for that I will be using this VS Code, and I'm using this command line, and to open this I can use this code space dot. Ultimately what I need some code files in my editor. So over here you will notice that we are having some files. So let's not go in the details of all these files. Simply say that these are the HTML files, and I want to write some code over here by using this tag. So this is my name, and I want to write some code over here. Okay, so I'm making some changes in this code, and now my day is over. I'm just setting down my laptop. Tomorrow I will come back and again I will start working on this same source code. And as you know, that project is something that takes some time. So some of them takes years, some of them take months, and some of them take days to complete. So let's assume that I'm working on this project since last 20 days. And now I got in a situation that I remember that 10 days back I was working on a specific bug, and to fix that bug I wrote some code. I want to find out what was that code. So it is not always easy to find that code if you are having this kind of structure. There must be something in this code that should tell you that hey, this is the change that you did on that particular day, and this is your specific message that you wrote about that change. So these additional capabilities will come by using the Git version control. Let's talk about one more example. Let's say you are only single developer, and if you are thinking that do I need to use Git, then definitely you must use Git, and here is the reason why. So let's assume that you are working on a project and you have to deploy that code or the incremental build after some time. What does it mean? It means, let's say after 1 week you have to deploy your code on a particular server. So let's say you are working on your code, and after 1 week you have deployed everything on your server. Now you will have to start work on next feature, and then you will work on that next feature, and then again you will have to deploy your code. And because of some reason, now your latest code is not working on the server, and you want to revert your changes. So how will you get the original copy or the previous copy of your code? That is something you can maintain by using this version control. There are so many functionalities in this version control that you can use. There are tags, there are branches. You can use any of the feature as per your need. Now let's talk about third requirement. Now let's say that we are working as a team member. I am one of the developer and you are also one of the developer in team. So I'm writing some code and you are also writing some code. And remember, we both have to work on this single application. So whatever code I'm writing, you must also be able to get that code, and whatever code you are writing, I should be able to get that code. So how can we share the code with each other? One bad approach could be that I will make the changes in this code, and then I will send all the changes to you over email or by using some Google Drive or OneDrive that, hey, these are my changes, just inject the changes in your code and work on that. So there could be one approach like this, but let's assume that you are working as a team of 5 developers, 10 developers, 20 developers. So how you will handle all these situations? So this entire management is handled very well by this Git version control. Now let's understand more situations. So here we are having two things. One is, let's assume on this left hand side, this is me as a developer. I'm working on my laptop and I'm writing the code. Now what happens, let's say after 2 days my laptop code crash. So whatever code I have written in my laptop is gone. There is no copy on server. To avoid this problem, what I can do, I can save my entire code on some cloud. Cloud means server. Server means a simple computer that is placed or available at a different location, and you can access that by using your internet connection. So what is the benefit of using this cloud or server over here? The benefit is that here we are storing the entire copy of my code that I'm writing on a server. Alright, so whatever change I will make on my system, as per my choice, I can store those changes on this cloud server. The benefit is that if your laptop got crashed or the laptop is stolen or you got that blue screen, then your code is still safe. You can repair your laptop and you can clone or get the entire code from this cloud location to your machine again, and then you can start working. Now let's talk about the team situation. So here are few developers, and let's not only focus on developers. Let's say there are different team members, and these team members include all the graphic designers, front-end developer, back-end developers, etc. All the team members are there, and let's say they are all writing the code. So how will they share the code with each other? They will share the code by using this cloud repository. So let's assume that this first developer is working on something. So he will just sync his changes, or he will send his entire code from his local system to the cloud. Ultimately, there will be two copies. One copy at his local system, or local computer, or local machine, and another copy would be at this server. The second developer will also have a connection with this cloud. To better understand this concept, let's see this diagram. So here is the proper diagram. Here you will notice that we are having this first developer, it is connected to cloud. The second one is also connected to cloud, the third, and so on. So how concept will work? The first developer will make some changes in his code, and until he will send them on the cloud, no other developers will get to know what he is working on. For example, he is working on a sign up page. So let's say once the sign up page is complete, then he will push or sync or send his changes from his local computer to this cloud, and all other developers can get the changes from this cloud server to their local system. And this is how things will work. In some situations there will be some complex scenarios as well, but this is the very simple flow, and this is how we work as a team. Now by using this approach, if you are working within an office or you are working at remote locations, you can work with a large number of developers and your code will be super efficient. Now let's talk about some features of this Git version control. So this Git version control maintains the versions. What are the versions? I have started working on a specific feature. So after making some change that depends on me, I can make one line of change and I can say that this version is done, or I can work on that code for maybe 2 days or 1 day, and then I can say that this is my new version. So the changes in that version is defined by the user, and Git will maintain all those versions. History of code. This is one of the best feature if you are working on a very old application that is taking few years in the development. If you want to see what are the changes 2 years back or 6 months back, etc., then you will get the entire detail over here. You will get all the information from this history. For example, who made this change, what files were changed, what line of code was changed, on what date was this code changed, etc. There are so many other information that you can get from your code within seconds. Can navigate to specific fix or commit. So let's say you made a fix few months back and now you want to revert those changes. So how will you find out that these changes were done over there? If you are thinking that, hey, this is my code and I know what fixes I made maybe 2 months back or 1 month back. So the best way would be that do not think that you are only a single developer in your team. always think that you are working with 20 developers, or maybe 5 developers have left the team. So one of the developer made some changes in your code. So how will you find out what change was done by that specific developer? That is possible only by the history, and by using the history you can navigate to any specific code that he made a change on a specific date, and using this approach you can find out what change was done. So this commit is also a concept of Git which we will learn in upcoming videos, but here just for the information that this is something that we choose. A commit is a message that is written against some changes of the code. Easy development. You will feel the process of development is super easy if you are using version control. Initially you might see that there are some complications, but if you are having some experience about this version control, or if you are totally new, then maybe after some time, after you will use it regularly, then you will see and you will feel that this is one of the best thing that you have done in your project. And trust me, I'm using Git since more than 10 years, so this is one of the best tool that you must use in your code. Manage code for release. This manage code for release by using tags, branches, etc. So as I told in one of my previous example, that if you are working on the incremental build where you have to deploy something at a regular interval, so you can find out or maintain all these things by using this version control, that this is the code that is deployed on a server on this particular date. Again, can work on different phases using branches. So what does it mean? It means, let's say I'm working on a specific project, and in that project side by side I want to work on a specific test feature maybe, or maybe some under development feature. So what is the best way to handle those situations? If we are not using version control, then what we will do, I will copy the entire code in some other folder, and over there I will start working, right? So I'm maintaining 2 folders now. Similarly, if I'm working on 4 to 5 things or 4 to 5 features, then I will copy this code 4 to 5 times. And once I will complete those features, then I will have to merge those folders to each other, and merging all these folders will take too much time, and chances are that you might miss some of the changes, and again this will create a problem. So these are some very basic examples that we always do, and we can handle all these things by using this version control very easily. This branches is also a concept of Git that we will learn in upcoming videos. And Git is a distributed version control system. What does it mean? To understand the concept of distributed version control, let's focus on this slide. Distributed means whatever changes I'm making on my system are totally disconnected with this server. The only connection with them is if I want to get the changes from server, then I have to tell specifically that please send me the latest changes. And if I want to send my changes from this local to server, then again I will have to tell that hey, my changes are done and now I want to push them. You can work independently on your local system without the need of this server repository, or you can also work on this server repository without the need of your local system. Remember, all the operations that you need to perform on your Git, you can do all of them on your local system even without any internet. If you are not using cloud, then you can use Git only on your local system. There is no need of using cloud. But we use cloud because we are working in a team and we want to secure our code in case of any situation with our laptop. Similarly, if we are working on the cloud, then the development is not possible only on server because you cannot write your large code base only on the server. That is why we get the entire code on our local system and we work on that. So this is called as the distributed version control. Now here is one more situation. Let's say this developer 3 is working on something and he has done the changes on his laptop. He has not pushed or sent his changes from his system to the cloud. So until he will not send the changes from his local to the cloud, other developers will not get that change. So you can consider it as a drawback, or in other way you can also consider it as a feature. And in order to work with this Git, we need to set up something in our system. For that, let's open a browser. So I will be using this Microsoft Edge, and over here you will have to search for Git. Once you will search for the Git, then you will see there is a website gitscm.com. Simply open it, and this is the only website that you need to open. From this website you will have to download the Git file. So I'm using Windows, so I'm having this option. If you are using Mac, then you can use this one, and for Linux you can also use the other specific related file. So you can click on this download for Windows and one exe will be downloaded. Here you will notice that we are having 32-bit, 64-bit things are there, or you can also use other ways to install this Git in your system. Okay, so I want to work with the 64-bit, so let's click on this one. Depending on the speed of your internet, you will get the file over here. So this is of 62 MB, and here you will notice that we are having two things. This is GUI clients. So this GUI client is basically we need to interact with this Git by using some medium. There are different ways. One is we can interact totally by using command line tools. What are the command line tools? They are the command prompt, terminal, or Git bash. These are some popular CLI tools. You can write your command over there and you can interact with Git. If you are not very much comfortable with the CLI, then you can also use some GUI. Just these GUIs are some applications which has proper UI, and over here you do not have to write any command. So these are some applications where you will have to click and things will be available to you in the visual form. So you will see all the branches, all the changes, all the codes, and we will use some of them. So in this entire course I will focus on CLI tool, as well as I will also focus on some these GUI clients tool as well. And one more thing over here, almost all the latest editors also support these GUI clients. But before talking about that, let's see how to install this Git in our system. So here we are, and let's just click on this file. Here we are. Here we have to click on this next button, next. So there are so many ways that you can use in Git, but I always click on the next buttons and this will get installed automatically. So here you will notice that we are having these options: Git from command line, also from third-party tool. Simply use all of them. Simply use all the default options and click on the next buttons. Within few seconds you will see that you will have Git in your system. And remember, we are using this 2.44.0 version of the Git, and there is not very much change in the different versions of Git. There could be some minor changes, or there could be some major change in future. If you are using little bit older as well, then we are okay with that. There is no problem. But if you want to update it, then you can always download the latest file from this Git SCM, and you can again install it in your system. Once the installation is done, then again there will be few things. Here you will notice that that's finished. That's it. Now once you will install the Git in your system, there will be some configurations. So for that, if I open the command line tool, so let's say I'm using the CMD, and first of all I would like to see if Git has been installed or not. So simply type Git and press the enter button. If you will see that we are having something, it means this is good, Git has been installed. If you are getting any error that Git is not a command, something like that, then just think that Git has not been installed and you need to install it properly. Now I would like to see what is the version over here. So let's see this Git version. Here I'm using this 2.44, and this is for the Windows. If you are using Mac or Linux, the commands will be same over there as well. Now let's talk about some GUI clients as well. I am using this VS Code over here, and in this VS Code you will notice that I'm having one tab over here. This is the third tab, and this is source control. This source control is basically about this version control, source control, they are same. And here we are using Git. So because we have not initialized any repository, or we have not used the Git as of now in this application, so we are having this kind of setup. Otherwise you will see that we will have a proper details over here that we will learn in upcoming videos. But if you do not want to learn the CLI, then you can also perform all these operations by using this built-in feature in this VS Code. You can also use this Visual Studio, and over here you will see that we are having this view, Git repository, and Git changes. And again we have not initialized anything, so here you will notice we are getting the option to clone the repository, or we can create a new Git repository. So these things are there that we will learn in the next video. Remember, these are some functionalities that are already added or built in the top editors. If you are using some other editors of your choice depending on your programming language, then Just make sure that you are using proper extension, because some of the editors may need the extension, and once you will download that, then you will see that things are there. And remember, the look and feel of all these buttons based on different editors or different GUI clients could be different, but ultimately the concept is going to be same. I will tell you one more thing here. I will be using one more popular tool that I use since the beginning, which is Tortoise Git. So that Tortoise Git is also a client tool that we will use in this course. So most of the time we will perform operations by using 4 ways. One is command line tool, which is the most popular, which will be always on priority. Second is this Visual Studio. Third is this VS Code, and the last one is that Tortoise Git. You can also use some other very powerful client tools, for example SourceTree, or you can get a list properly from here. Here you can notice we are having GitHub Desktop, SourceTree, Tortoise Git. This is the one that I use, and this is Git extensions. So all of them are very good, you don't have to worry about that, and some of them are paid even. So this is paid, but I don't know, this is your choice, but I always prefer the free version. So they are also very good, and that's it. So that is all in this video. From the next video onwards, we will set up our repository and we will write some code, and we will understand how to initialize or how to work with the repository, and some other operations will be there. And I would be more than happy if you will subscribe to the channel and share the videos among your friends. That is all in this video. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.